We are recording.
We're back.
Yay.
We haven't done this studio deal in quite a while.
It seems like it's been years.
Yeah, it's only been like 2 weeks.
2 weeks, but 2 weeks can be 2 years.
You were out of town. We both did some other videos and threw them on here. We kept people entertained.
It's true, and I'm sure they were incredibly entertained.
Yeah, hardly anyone watched them at all.
Hey, they watched my one from Minneapolis.
Yeah, that's true. You did good there.
Yeah, but then I didn't do another one.
So far, everything I've loaded has just been a flop, apparently. So.
Well, I didn't upload anything since because, like, I had Shark Week and I didn't fucking feel like it. And I just didn't feel like it. I ate some chocolate. I put on some libs right in here, and my fat here. You know, fuck it.
My face looks awfully pink. I spent all day out in the sun today kayaking. It was hot as fuck. Hardly a cloud in the sky. 90-some degrees. It was rough. Wind. I
just went for like a 1.25 walk, 1.25 miles, and I'm like, it's fucking hot out. I can't do it. I took the dog for a walk and went back to the house. The dog was like laying on the floor. I hydrated him while we were out too.
We went around this lake. It must have been a good 5 or 6 miles, but there was just no current. The water barely moves unless somebody's driving a speedboat past you. So it was a lot of work getting around there. I'm exhausted.
Probably full of snakes.
That water looks so disgusting. I didn't want to touch it at all. My shorts were soaked in it, and one of the reasons I was late today. We're always late when we start anything.
It's usually me.
I had to go home and shower. There was no way in hell you'd want to sit next to me smelling like that lake.
I smell like sweaty girl, so a mixture of weird perfume trying to cover it up.
Yeah, the combination of that nasty water from the lake combined with the sweating sunscreen down directly into my eyeballs.
Isn't that your favorite when it starts burning your eyes and you try to wipe it away, you just smear it deeper in?
Get more of it on my hands.
Or bug spray, it's one or the other.
It's terrible.
Summertime's awesome, especially the amount of protection we have to use to go outside now.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
They didn't even have sunscreen when I was a kid, I swear to God. If they did, I never saw it.
It was like SPF 2.
Right.
The bottle I used today was like SPF 50. Like, we can now put a shell around your body.
Well, and what they say about sunscreen is that if you're supposed to take how long it takes you to burn, which for like an average person is like 1 hour. And so like SPF 8 would be good for 8 hours then. Okay. Because it's got a number 8. So if you know your average time is 15 minutes, then you have to take whatever that number is on the bottle and multiply it by the average time it takes for you to burn. And I don't know. That's what they say.
I had no idea what it was.
But you think for most people that SPF 8 would be more than adequate. Most people aren't outside all day, right?
The sun's not even up for 50 hours straight. I don't know what the hell I own this shit for. It was on the shelf and it was cheap.
Well, yeah, mine's from the dollar store. It's like in a pink bottle and got pictures of little cartoon babies on it.
Mine came from a grocery store chain down south. I've had it for like 3 years.
Yeah. We're poor.
Yeah, sometimes you don't use things quite often enough. They just sit around.
Like I've had the same can of off for like 10 years. And it's not even the good kind of off. It's the orange kind.
I use salad dressing so seldomly. We've gone in there like, oh, we're going to have salad tonight. Great, let's pull out the dressings. Oh, this one expired 1.5 years ago.
I just threw away some ranch for that reason. I pulled it out. It was all funky looking, like yellowed. And I'm like, oh my God, when's the last time I used this? It had to have been over 1 year ago.
The worst one I ever saw, my mom has like a really deep cabinet next to her stove, and she doesn't climb down there and see what's in it. And I went and I was cleaning out her cabinets one day, and I found a bottle of ranch that had expired like 5 years prior to that.
Nice.
But it had never been opened. It wasn't swollen. It was just completely brown in the bottle. It was the most disgusting looking thing I ever saw.
It's like barbecue sauce.
Pretty much.
That's disgusting.
I wouldn't have known what it was except it said ranch dressing on the front, and I'm like, oh my God.
It's buffalo ranch. That's why it looks like that.
Yeah, I got rid of that thing very carefully. I did not want to break it open.
Oh, God.
I'm sure there was an odor in there beyond compare.
Well, one time my mom fed me, and my mom will still remember this if you watch this, Mom, that can of Parmesan cheese that was like 7 years expired, and I and you sprinkle it on spaghetti, which you don't use very much whenever you use it, so that can last people for years.
Unless you're me.
Unless you're Bill.
I love Parmesan.
But it's like fake Parmesan. It's like brittle. Like Bacos or fake bacon.
We make good Parmesan flavored cardboard. You ground it up and put it in here for you.
Right, but yeah, it was like 7 years expired, and I threw a fit for like weeks about that. I'm like, you fed me expired cheese, and not even the good kind. 7 years expired, I could have died.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I went through a spaz attack over it.
I don't think I could do the whole lunch meats and cheeses and all that if it's way past their expiration.
Lunch meat you're supposed to eat within a week of opening it. And
within a week of it being cut, really.
Well, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you buy the kind like, you buy the kind in the deli, not the actual deli in the store, but you go to the cheese and pepperoni, blah, blah, blah section.
The prepackaged.
The prepackaged, yeah. The screen went black. I had to touch it a little. But, woo!
You didn't even see it happen.
No, you didn't. But, yeah, so you go and you buy, like, the prepackaged turkey or whatever. Obviously, that's been in there for months. And then you open it up. They say eat it within a week. But I tell you, don't eat what's in the fridge over here. Because it's been in there open for, like, weeks. I don't even know where it came from. Don't eat it.
Can't identify that meat anymore.
No, I mean, the package says turkey, and it's still in the little meat drawer.
Turkey gets way too slimy if you keep it for long. Yeah.
Ugh.
If you're going to raise livestock or anything to try and have your own meats, you really need a good variety of people that you can give things away to, unless you're freezing it all.
Well, you should co-op. One person raise chickens, one person raise rabbits, one person raise pigs.
I want to build a co-op so bad.
Oh, God, I know. I want to do a co-op for everything. I have this dream of doing a co-op for school children, like homeschooling children. So, like, 5 or 10 different families would all get together. That way the children would be socialized, have other kids in their class, and then each parent would take a different turn during a day of the week, so that way everybody could work if they needed to.
See, I want a large enough aquaponics center that I can sell produce from it, but also have, like, local school kids come in and see how it's done.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be awesome. That would be the best possible way to make money.
I'll raise the rabbits. That part's easy. They do it all.
If you want to just send me a few $100,000, no problems. I'll put it to good use.
Yeah. I'll just take it and live off of it. It's fine.
Well, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice to turn it into a business that you could live off of. But then just do this for fun because, well, it's fun.
It is fun. You guys missed us. I can tell. I can feel the love coming through the screen.
I'm so not energetic right now. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I fell asleep earlier.
I got a lot of fucking exercise today.
Yeah, you did. I fell asleep for like 20 minutes earlier, so I'm ready to go. And I've been drinking lime water all day, so I'm super hydrated and have lots of vitamins.
Like, I can barely hit my urine.
Yeah, I was hoping for coffee before we got started, but I took the coffee pot apart. To clean it, and I don't remember how to put it back together. It's super complicated, so it's just sitting there. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just drink water.
Oh, but it makes such good coffee.
It does, and it stays hot forever because that fancy carafe.
Yeah, we just need an intern to set it all up.
I told our intern that like an hour ago. I'm like, I'm gonna really want some coffee before the show, and it's still sitting there. He's playing video games.
These things happen.
I use the word intern loosely. It's the guy that provides us our studio space.
And buys cookies occasionally. That guy is awesome.
Yeah.
But he's totally unpaid, so he's like an intern.
So exactly, that's why we call him that. But really, he'd be like an unpaid boss, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
But we don't like that. Right, but we don't like that. So he's been relegated to intern status.
Boss is generally a negative number, so we'll just call him the intern.
This is my lime water. It's good.
This is my plain tap water. It's good too, because I need to be hydrated.
Well, I took a big glass jug and I cut up some limes and threw it in there this morning, and that's what I've been drinking all day.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. I've had like 3 of these giant glasses already. It's awesome.
Yeah, I
put the logo on the inside so you guys couldn't see the brand of the cup. Oh, yeah.
I started doing a lot more exercise because after making a few videos on my own, I realized, fuck, I still look fat as hell. So I'm working out a lot more, and man, I've been going through so much water. I'm probably drinking at least 2 gallons a day.
Yeah. Well, you need to drink enough, but don't drink too much because it washes out all the electrolytes and blah, 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 blah. I actually had clients when I was doing therapy that got hospitalized for drinking too much water. Like in the intensive care, like no joke, got hospitalized.
I've heard things like that, but it always seemed kind of like a wives' tale. But
no, it's true.
I know it could happen.
Yeah, and with them, they had the special consideration that they were on medications. And the more water you drink, the more your medication get washed out. So it's fucked up.
So they might go crazy.
They did. Crazy
from the water.
Yeah, and see, like, if you don't eat enough, you go crazy. If you eat too much, you go crazy. You drink too much water, you don't drink enough water. I had people hospitalized because they had urinary tract infections that got so bad they hallucinated. What the fuck is that?
That's a good question.
Right.
Really fucked up.
But it happened because they, like, went so long without drinking enough that it like, raised their toxicity up to where they were, like, crazy.
I recommend at least once a week, drink a little bit of apple cider vinegar, kind of rinse out the system and get that shit out of there.
I gave some to my dog earlier today.
Awesome.
Yeah, just a little speck. It wasn't on purpose.
I don't use a lot, but I use a little bit, just like cleaning out a coffee maker.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's supposed to be good for your digestion.
I don't want this thing to break down because I don't know how to put it back together.
Exactly.
But I can clean it.
Much like the coffee pot. Yeah.
I had a great day today, though. I mean,
you look exhausted, but
I'm
exhausted,
like you had fun. But man, I had a blast. My dad had never been kayaking before, so
okay.
We went out on Cedar Lake, which is kind of far west from here. It's about a 50-minute drive from where we're at.
Way to zero it in so people can find us almost exactly.
Good luck.
Once again, where we tape is not the same place where we live.
No,
so
we just kind of
say hi to our intern when you get here. He'll be pissed.
No shit. He's a gun owner. Don't do that to him.
Right. And he's like got an itchy trigger finger. He's a nervous kind of guy.
But he's a damn good shot.
Yeah.
So been to the range with him. It's a lot of fun.
It's crazy how good of a shot he is.
Oh yeah, have you gone out there?
I have, yeah. He took me shooting for he was my gun de-virginizer.
Nice.
Yeah, he's the one that helped me go shooting for the first time.
What we need to do is set up a podcast of drunken gun safety.
We do need to. The funniest thing of that whole experience was when he had me shoot several different guns. A few handguns and then like a big shotgun. And when I shot a shotgun, I pulled it back. I just shot the one time and I flew back and his hand had to come up and catch me from hitting the floor. It was awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They could give a big kick. I used to have one that would just bruise the hell out of my shoulder whenever I...
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was a great gun though. It was a lot of fun to play with. It was real old action. It was really old. It was like a 1950s bolt action 12-gauge shotgun.
Okay.
It was huge, but it looked like something that could have been used in like World War I or World War II.
Sadly, I actually know what he's talking about.
Yeah, it was kind of a cool gun. I picked it for like $100.
Nice.
And when I didn't really have any use for it anymore, I took it back to the same gun shop and they bought it for $20 more than I paid for.
See, and you got to fire it off.
Oh yeah, and I got to go out to the range a few times.
Right.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we live in a state where guns are quite loved.
Yes, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Republican-esque.
Well, I remember one of my friends telling me that her and her boyfriend went out to one of the more rural counties where you could just go and they have gun ranges outside everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And so they were on their way back, and they got pulled over because their vehicle kind of matched the description of one that had like.
Do you have any weapons in the
vehicle? But the whole back was just like there was like at least 10 guns back there. But the thing is that they were looking for 2 people that had allegedly robbed a gas station, but thank God they didn't match the physical description. Just the outside of the vehicle kind of looked like it.
Look, I brought the weaponry for it.
But yeah, the cops didn't even bat an eye once they realized, oh well, these guys don't look like the same guys.
No, if you're doing it legally. There's no reason.
But I mean, they had 10 of them in the back of the pickup. What the hell is that? Only around here, Jay.
The last time I went shooting with the guys, there were 3 of us, and 2 of them brought a huge variety of stuff, and I just brought the one shotgun I had. I was
You're like, this is all I have.
This is the only toy I have, guys. I can't play more.
I had to bring my stun gun. That's all I've got.
But there was probably a good 8 to 10 guns with us that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but, I mean, we got to try out all kinds of shit. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, guns are well loved here.
Yeah.
Not like in that Michael Moore documentary, though, where you get a gun when you open a bank account. That was fucked up.
No, you know what? There needs to be... And I hate whenever people start having this gun control conversation.
Oh, yeah, it started again because that Zimmerman trial's over.
Yeah, which, you know what? I don't even know what to say to that.
I'm not even going to... I just mentioned it so people can get an idea when we taped it.
Subject.
Yeah, this is when we taped the show. The Zimmerman trial's over.
So far from what I've heard, there have been no riots based on this shitty verdict. So, thank you all for evolving a little bit and not starting more shit to add to another fucked up situation.
Well, it's just a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Every which way. I cannot believe... I just can't believe it. And if I start talking, I'm going to go off, so I'm just not going to talk about it.
What were we going to talk about?
Yeah,
sensationalist news.
Sensationalist headlines, yeah. Well, yeah, I feel terrible for Trayvon's parents, though, and his family. The motherfucker shot that kid.
There is no reason that he should have been following or harassing a kid in any way, shape, or form.
Well, this kid's walking home from the gas station, and he's in neighborhood watch. We have neighborhood watch here, too, in this neighborhood. Yeah. And they're like, no one walks around with a gun. If they do,
there are a lot of police officers in this area, but yeah, some of them do walk around with guns, but they don't just pull them and attack somebody, And the other thing that got me is, this guy's he's older than I am, I believe.
I'm not
a teenager.
Sure. Right.
I've never met a teenager who could kick my ass. Be a man.
I've never met a teenager that was respectful, so just understand the kids talk back and fucking go about your business. I had a kid start something with me the other day because I was out jogging with my dog. And this weird kid walked up to me and wanted to argue with me about physical fitness, and I'm like, whatever, and just continued about my business. And put my
you weren't a part of my day when I started it. You can continue not being.
What a weird kid. But yeah, that weird kid's out there watching. You're a weird
There
kid.
are weird people everywhere. But you know what? If you treat them like they're human beings, they generally don't become dangerous.
But I was armed with my stun gun, but I didn't stun him with it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
There's no need to. If he didn't attack you, let a guy be weird. I'm weird.
Exactly. He probably didn't realize it was an actual weapon because it's pink. I like to keep people guessing. Do you know they have pink handguns?
Need a camouflage one so they don't see it coming.
Yeah, I was at the local gun shop the other week, and they had pink handguns. Now I'm really excited.
I've seen a lot of that. They've actually
tiny pink shotguns for little girls too.
Realtree, one of the biggest providers, makers, manufacturers of camouflage products. They've been putting out a lot of products that have like hot pink mixed in with the camo. It's kind of cool.
I had a pair of camo pants, pink and gray, and a matching jacket, but the jacket was like one of those like half jackets, so it was meant for fashion and not going out into the field. But yeah, I sported it. I wore that. I wore something like
I used to have.
And I thought I was so cool too. I had pink hiking boots. I would wear with it, and I was like, my God, I wear too much pink.
The 1960s, I guess we used it in Vietnam too, that old style pattern of camouflage. I had a nice full suit of it when I was a kid.
Like I'd wear like real camo?
Yeah. Okay, it was real camo, but it was kind of the crappiest camo. Compared to what we have today, it was kind of crappy. And then I had like big work boots that were all brown. They just looked ridiculous, but we'd go out and play war.
I went out. Man, I was like, and this wasn't even like a long time ago. This was like 5 years ago. I had this outfit. I was cool. I looked good. I did.
I still own a denim jacket.
Dude, I just bought a denim jacket not that long ago.
It was actually the very first article of clothing I ever bought for myself. I work construction all during the summer doing cleanup, and I bought a couple items for my school clothes that year. Fucked up and bought Reebok pumps, which were over $100 and destroyed within like 3 months. They
happened to my brother too.
Yeah. But I mean, the jacket, that was the very first purchase I made. I have kept that thing. The only difference is it used to have a leather collar on the denim jacket. Now it's just all denim.
I had like a shiny silver jacket from when I was like 18. I just recently retired it like the other day, like a couple months ago. I finally took it to Goodwill. I hadn't worn the thing in a couple years, but not that long really, because I'm pretty fashionable as far as that goes. But yeah, it was like shiny, like silver, like a Hershey Kiss. And I looked good wearing that one too. I should have paired it with a camo.
I don't know. If it's not tattered, if it's not destroyed, there's no reason to throw it out. Fuck people with their fashion sense.
Yeah. The particular dress I'm wearing today is literally 6 to 8 sizes too big. It doesn't really look like it, but it's supposed to be tight. Like it's supposed to be like skin tight, form fitting. It's like a baggy tent dress now.
So what you're saying is your fashion problem is modesty.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to show off everything before I surprise you.
Ta-da! Or tatas.
Tatas.
Yeah.
Whichever.
But yeah, sensationalist headlines is what we were actually originally were going to talk about, not my clothes.
Yeah, not fashion.
My clothes are really important, though.
Mine are not.
I'm going to sell my underwear online.
That would probably be a big money
maker. Do you think so? I've got some I've got some like really cute panties. I could sell them for like $5 a pair. Or 20. How much do you guys want to pay for that?
Yeah, you could probably charge 20 for that.
Let me know how much you guys want to pay for my panties. I will fucking ship that to you after I get the money.
All right, I have to tell you about something I heard about. It was actually a news story, speaking of sensationalist news.
Speaking of Craigslist.
Back in the mid-90s, before the internet was all that big, most people weren't using it. There was, apparently throughout a lot of the porno industry, porno magazines, movies, there would be advertisements for mail away things that you can get, like your dildos and shit before the stores became popular. Well,
before they had things where
you can order used women's panties.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they got busted. They were actually taking like tuna oil and rubbing it on the panties in the crotch area and then mailing them out, and guys were buying them up like crazy.
Now, isn't there some kind of saying that goes along with that?
There was a terrible...
And I can't remember our intern knows it.
Well, shit, if you watch La Bamba, they summed it up the best. The whole meme was, it smells like fish but tastes like chicken.
No, that's not it. No, it's something about... Oh, God. There's... I can't remember. You know, I'll like update you guys on either my personal podcast or on the next show, because I know that there's a funny little rhyme that's about like particular kinds of fish and when to avoid going downtown. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Downtown.
No, but I mean, people will buy fucking anything.
There's always ads on Craigslist for panties. Like that, I'll buy your used panties. Yeah, they're weird truckers.
I'll buy them from you.
Yeah, well, I've seen a couple girls try to sell them, but mostly it's like weird truck drivers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And the guy with the stumpy penis that always takes a picture of his junk in the bathroom. You can see the toilets. Okay, guys, if you're gonna put up pictures of yourself of your junk online, don't do it while sitting on the toilet. That is the most trashy thing to do.
That's pretty good.
At least go and like recline on the bed.
Get out there
sexy.
and in front of the big mirror and do your junk face.
Right. That's what I'd be like, That's funny shit. I would be more likely to call a guy that did his duck face like junk shot. Yeah.
Dude,
but don't do the toilet shots. That is so fucking trashy. Or your pickup, and then I'm like, they're sitting in their truck in a parking lot, so we're taking pictures of their fucking junk.
This guy's Porky Pig in it.
Ugh.
You know what that is?
I do.
Riding around with no pants on.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, so what other... you'd mentioned some sensationalist stuff you'd seen recently on the news.
Yeah, our local police department, the county police, released a statement today that there have been a number of explosive devices found all over town. Most of them had already detonated.
The works bomb.
It was the works bombs. Like, you can look that up to see what it is, because I don't really want to be accused of telling kids how to do that shit. But, so yeah, these, like, plastic bottles found with what have you in it blew up. And yeah, there's chemicals and whatnot, and there are dangers, but it's not like it's full of shrapnel. It's not like it's going to take down a whole city block. We've had a lot of fires around here lately, though. Maybe there is something to do with it.
That's true. There could be some arsonists and shit going on.
Yeah, but really, there's that whole like shopping center block.
Downtown center,
yeah, the downtown one. Then over by my house, there's that whole where the Night Owl Coffee Shop used to be years ago.
Oh yeah.
That whole area is burned down. I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, going back to the bombs, there
was another one of our really old buildings in town burned down recently. Well, in the past few months. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe there is a problem. But these devices, they're just made in a plastic pop bottle, and it's some household expanding gas that pops the bottle, and it makes a loud sound. It's not a dangerous thing. It's just some dumb kids playing around.
I wouldn't say it's exactly safe. Those are, gross household chemicals, but they're ones people use to clean with. So if it's clean enough for me to clean, if it's safe enough for me to clean with just an open window, then what's the issue, really? Then maybe they shouldn't sell cleaning supplies. Everyone should use vinegar and baking soda.
Carding everybody for everything, and we can put an
cough medicine
limit on all of it. Yeah.
Dude, try to buy some cough medicine. That shit pisses me off. And I keep those little fucking tablets, the little cold tablets. I keep them like they're gold because you have to go through such shit to get a hold of them. And I've had the same box for 5 years because I don't take them. I'm like, I might need this shit.
I don't even use it all.
They're expired. I still keep them. I'm like, I might need this.
Expired.
Yeah.
That's all right.
But they made it sound like literally that there's this bandit going around leaving bombs, like actual bombs, like with dynamite and shit all over it.
Yeah, some people are
timepieces used to know what's going to go off.
It makes me wonder what else is going on in the world that could have taken precedence over that. Why can't you just say, well, this is a bunch of dumb kids playing with something that was a popular thing to play with back in the early 90s.
I was going to say,
we didn't even have internet access to learn bomb making.
That's because they got all that info from the Anarchist Cookbook, dude. That's why they had to ban that book.
We learned how to make loud noises without hurting ourselves, and as long as you stay away from the thing when it pops. No.
I did know a kid, however, that blew off these two fingers. These two, not a gang sign, blew off these two fingers. And he was making his own fireworks. He was at home trying to make his own fireworks, and he blew off 2 of his fingers. And so then we were like, make the peace sign, bro. Peace sign, peace out. Because that's all he could do.
But then do a duck face.
Right? But yeah, so that's kid...
messed up. I've heard of people making their own. I don't think I'd want to try it.
Well, obviously not.
I don't want to blow up parts of my house. Fuck that.
Right.
Doesn't sound like a good idea.
Fucking crazy.
Everything is nowadays.
But to make it sound like that there's literally terrorists out there attacking the city is crazy.
It just makes me wonder, what is the local politicians got going on right now?
Well, they put up
those... covering.
Oh, well, probably the cost of those expensive benches they put up all over.
Maybe I should put my foil hat back on.
Right, yeah, I threw my foil hat away today. I came up in here and cleaned up a little bit. Yeah.
It was about time one of us did that.
It's true.
Probably should be me at some point.
I kept the foil bra. Oh, yeah.
That's right. Well, it was like a breast shield.
Yeah.
Protecting you from alien
staring at my
waves.
Nips.
Yeah, no.
I don't want aliens staring at my nips at all. I'm so
sorry. I'm sorry, guys. You just can't do it.
Right.
But what else was in the news this past week? Oh, yeah, we had that plane crash in where was that? Was it San Francisco?
You know what? I don't watch the TV that much.
I don't watch it either, but...
I missed it. If someone didn't upload it to my feed on Facebook or Twitter,
I saw something about it on the Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. Mm-hmm. But apparently there was this guy who didn't have a lot of miles logged as far as experience with big jets. And he totally missed the runway, slid. Wow. I mean, I guess they had a couple fires. There were a lot of people injured, like well over 100.
Wow.
Yeah. It made big news, I guess, but since I don't watch TV, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I will tell you something that hasn't hit the news.
What's that?
Why are these Iraqi babies being born with cancer and being born flipper babies like Chernobyl?
Yeah, apparently they've had a huge spike in
since we started bombing them.
Deformities. Yeah, just over the course of the past 5 or 6 years, they're starting to have a lot more of them.
But the World Health Organization?
Yeah, they're the ones that wrote up the WHO.
The WHO.
Pinball wizards.
But yeah, they're supposed to release this report, and there's been some kind of weird delays, and it hasn't made any press at all.
Yeah, it seems like nobody wants to pick up the story, and I don't even remember what the website was where you showed me the story.
It's on my Twitter
obscure.
feed. Yeah, if any of you, it was a weird, obscure UK one, and if you guys want to see it, it's like back a few days in my Twitter feed on at Dana Talks, but I don't remember what it was off the top of my head. But yeah, I don't know what's going on and why we're not hearing about this. And it was the report from 2011 or 12. It's like not this year's because this year hasn't been done yet.
Oh wow,
so it should have been released a while ago.
That's even more fucked up.
Right.
We gotta get rid of all this secrecy bullshit.
Well, what's going on? What is happening that is so damn secret that I can't know about it?
Yeah, we've already been told that they're the enemy and that we had to go and tear up and rebuild their country to make it all better. So they're not the enemy anymore. There's no reason to hide secrets of what took place there. It's history now. Isn't
that crazy, though, when we go to war with a country that then we have to go and rebuild it? And I know it's because we started it. But
you have a tendency to do that.
Right, but like they used to do that for population control, in my opinion. And a lot of sociologists' opinions, too. I didn't just pull out of my ass.
Yeah, that's not a random fact.
But yeah, it doesn't work for population control anymore, and I'm not, like, wishing any soldiers dead or anything, so please don't send me any hate mail. I don't like that shit.
I have no issue with the soldiers. It's the people who are putting them in the place.
Exactly. They're places they don't need to be.
Yeah, I don't really see justification for much of any war.
Meanwhile, sorry to interrupt you. Meanwhile, half an hour from where I'm sitting right now, half an hour drive, the fucking town is falling in on itself, and they will not send soldiers there to pick it up.
Yeah,
and to clean up. And there's kids. There was 5 shootings in that town in 5 days. 5 young men got shot to death. 5 totally different incidences. And you know what time I'm talking about. It's Gary, Indiana. So what the fuck?
Yeah,
and
why are we allowing
apart.
that to take place? Why aren't there people trying to rebuild the community?
They did when they had the Miss America pageant there a few years ago.
They fucking took that money and wasted it. Did you ever drive down Broadway?
Yeah, oh yeah. They put those plants in to spell out Gary in the grass, and that's what they spent the money on.
If you drove down
ridiculous
Broadway, the main strip where all the big shopping centers used to be.
Yeah, used to be.
They literally took plywood over the windows of these abandoned buildings and painted scenes on them to look like curtains and flowers in the windows.
Oh, that I didn't notice.
It was tacky and terrible.
Yeah, see, when I always spend most of my time watching the front of the car because little kids run in front of the car. In Gary, there's so many kids just running around. There's no parks or anything that are safe for them to play at, and they'll just dart across the street really fast. Then cuss you out because you almost hit them.
Right.
Because they're mean little kids. They are such mean kids.
Well, the problem is, when you get an area that's going that far downhill, and Gary has been going downhill for a very, very
It's only been around for like 100 years.
Well, that's the problem. Once upon a time, that was like the Chicago destination for people in eastern Kentucky or farther away from Chicago. People would go to Gary because that was where it was happening. That's where the clubs were, the restaurants. Industry. There's
no grocery store there now.
No, there are hardly any grocery stores.
There's no
McDonald's.
The problem is
everybody decided they wanted to shop somewhere else and just left everyone who supplied labor to the service industry, which is almost the entire nation now, kids. That's pretty much all we're getting left for jobs. Those
centers.
People, if you've worked in a shit-paying job like that and all of a sudden your income's gone, what are you going to do? You can't afford to move.
Well, and that's what makes me so mad because people will say, well, why don't people just move? With what money? You can't just go to another town and just set up shop.
Or what if you don't even own a car? How the hell are you going to move? You're just going to pick it up and carry it a couple miles at a time?
Well, and even if you did own a car, you're going to have to go live in your car because you have to have money to get an apartment or a house. Like, they're not going to just give you one when you show up in town.
I saw probably about 12 years ago now, there was an ad in the paper for a house for sale in Gary. It was a 6-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and they only wanted $5,000 for it.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's people just trying to get away. Just give me enough money that I can go and get an apartment.
Yeah. Well, and it's a terrible thing, but that happens all the time. And then there's so many dilapidated buildings there that it's a wonder that the town doesn't just catch on fire because there's no one there to watch it.
It happens everywhere. I mean, whenever we build a big city, any of the areas that we are just decide aren't working out so well, the restaurants are getting run down, the stores are getting run down. Instead of rebuilding them and fixing them and just using that land to put something new in, we just kind of let it fall apart and we move on to a new piece of property where we cut down the woodlands, fill in the water, poison that environment. What the fuck is the matter with us?
Well, and then, you've got these buildings falling in. Bricks do not expire.
No,
bricks don't go bad. They will not reuse them. They just throw them in the dumpster, and then they go buy new ones whenever they do fix something up, because usually they don't. But there's billions of buildings in this town made of brick, and it's really nice brick, too. It's from, the profit 20s when they had really nice brick before the stock market crashed, obviously.
Right.
But, yeah, that was
back when we used to have good textiles and industry.
Oh, God, the architecture is gorgeous if you drive down there. But the city's just falling in on itself, and nobody will do anything.
Well, God, I remember when I was a kid growing up there, the mayor got busted for, dealing cocaine. Okay, everything was corrupt there for a very, very long time, and I don't know.
Like Cicero.
Yeah, I don't know any. I don't know anything about the current office there as far as the mayor and who's in charge and what they're trying to do.
It's a lady named Karen, because I remember seeing the signs when I drove through. It was Karen about Gary. I remember her name is Karen, is who got elected.
You know what? It's good, but easy as hell.
I liked it, though. I'm like, now I remember. I don't know her last name.
Yeah,
her first name is Karen.
I don't personally know what they're doing or how anything's working out there anymore. I just know that once upon a time, that city was run by some crooked pricks that just let the whole thing fall apart.
But it must have been a nice place, because there's that song, Gary, Indiana, from the Music Man.
Yeah.
Gary, Indiana, Gary,
written from
Indiana.
a point in time when it was a big, booming town.
Yeah. It really was, but people around here don't believe it.
No.
The young people our age, they didn't see it.
Well, they just see it as a dangerous place.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody even thinks about it. It wasn't that dangerous when Michael Jackson lived there.
Right.
It was still a somewhat decent town.
Do you know, and this has nothing to do with this has nothing really to do with anything of any importance, but Michael Jackson's house is on Jackson Street, but it was not named after his family.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, I drove past it.
They just happened to live there. Well, it's
I
a
just
common
happened
last
to
name.
Of course.
But,
well, I believe the actual street's named after Andrew Jackson.
Okay.
But yeah, there's all the streets are either named after presidents or cities, or not cities, states. There's Colorado Street and stuff like that. But yeah, so they aren't really inventive with their street names.
Yeah, well, that whole area, Lake County, it's the same thing. When I was growing up in Hammond, we had the state streets, we had some presidential streets, and then it was basically numbers.
I was going to say letters and numbers.
We ran out of names we want to use. All right, that's 1 and 2.
Yeah. There's a few towns where it's just letters, A Street, B Street. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest problems when it comes to areas falling apart, and it's not just Gary. There are all of Michigan where they had all the big automotive plants that shut down because they could make them cheaper overseas and ship those jobs out as well.
Like that song, we're not Detroit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We just let those whole cities fall to dust.
It falls in on itself, and then the people that are left behind scramble trying to find any kind of employment, and there's nothing, because any industry that was there has gone the hell away, because it's not going to surround itself with filth like that.
So what are you left with to do to make money to feed your family?
Exactly. What are you supposed to do?
You end up doing whatever pays, and since there are no jobs in the area, you go to the people willing to pay you to sell their drugs. And that happens in those towns all the time. And it's not even a majority of people. It's a minority that end up in that position, but the violence that follows the illegal drug trade.
Well, it's the illegal drug trade, the illegal sex trade, anything that's underground like that, which is right in front of people. It's not actually underground. But it's
on the surface.
But when there's nothing, when you have no choices, what are you supposed to do?
Right. And we're kind of making this entire country that way.
Mm-hmm.
We are shipping out more and more jobs on a regular basis. And these service jobs that are available for people now, you've got college graduates making less than $30,000 a year, but they have tens of thousands of dollars to pay back.
You've got graduate school graduates making less than that a year because they can't find a job.
Exactly. It doesn't matter how skilled you are at anything anymore. It's just there's nothing left unless you've already been there since before 2008 or have gotten lucky when 1 or 2 positions opened up in a town.
Right.
We need to really revamp everything and rebuild our economy, and we need to stop importing goods. All you companies that have made your money off that, congrats. I hope you put a bunch away. We don't need that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We need to make shit here and sell it here if we're going to have that kind of an economy.
Well, we could just do what I'd like to do and just everybody in the whole world share.
Yeah.
And then it won't matter who makes what TVs or where your bananas come from because you'll just go to the store and pick up bananas.
You know, yeah. If you
or a TV or whatever you want, because we're all going to share.
If you were willing to treat everybody the way that you wanted to be treated when it came to providing you with the shit you want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we actually paid most of that $100 for a pair of Nikes or Reeboks or whatever the big brands are now.
That's funny because we don't actually know.
Yeah, I don't really give a shit about the brand.
We don't have any idea.
I buy what's on sale. But I mean, if we actually paid the people who provided these things and manufactured them a decent living wage.
How could that happen? Come on.
No kidding. There wouldn't be people at the Apple's headquarters throwing themselves off into the giant nets that have been put up for their safety.
Well, but what's with the disparity of I can't even talk. Disparity. I couldn't talk. Between one job pays a certain amount in one area of the country, and then another area of the country it pays a completely different amount. For instance, gas station employees. If you work at a gas station in Colorado, you make really good money because you have to have a special certificate to be able to go and pump the gas. Because people can't pump their own gas there because they'll blow themselves up. However, I pump my own gas all the fucking time, and no one pays me shit. Yeah. But I worked at a gas station, and I know I made $5.15 an hour.
Indiana, limited personal freedom, but go ahead and fuck yourself up.
Right?
There's more than corn.
In Indiana, we can pump our own gas.
Yay! And sell fireworks.
But explosives
you can't keep and gas pumping. Enjoy it.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to keep the fireworks. You're supposed to get them out of state, I heard.
I think the contract you have to sign is that you're going to take them out of the state within 3 days. Like, how many people are actually buying this shit and not blowing it up in the first 3 days?
Well, everybody waits till the 4th because it goes out half off.
God,
it goes on sale.
It seems like they start in May. They just don't stop until August or when the supply runs out.
Yeah, well, you were here the other day when my dog refused to go outside after dark because he's like, no, I know what happens out there.
There's explosions and bright lights and it's unnatural.
I tried the earphones that you put on to shoot guns so that you don't blow your eardrums. Yeah, I got some of those out of the closet and tried to put them on the dog's ears because he was so traumatized, but they were way too big. I'm going to invent. Nobody steal this idea. I'm going to invent tiny headphones for dogs.
There you go.
It's going to be awesome.
That's a good plan.
Nobody steal that. That's a good one. Not like the condom carrying cases I invented, and then I saw them at Walgreens. I was pissed.
Really?
I was so fucking mad. You don't even know. I invented this shit. I didn't tell anybody for 2 years. I'm like, I've got this. It's like a secrets box, but you put condoms in it, and they're going to have all different designs on them and stuff. And that way you can keep them in your purse or whatever, and your pen's not going to stab them and break them. And I had this all planned out, and I fucking went to Walgreens. I saw him sitting on there by the cash register. I was, and I fucking took a picture while screaming, you motherfuckers, at the people working there who didn't know what the problem was. But I was so mad. I invented that shit, and I want my money for it.
I'm telling you,
God damn it.
You're just one consciousness. Because as soon as you grasp an idea, it seems like somebody else came up with it right then and there.
Bastard.
And they got to it faster.
Fuck you, person who invented those condom carrying cases other than me.
But you could still, make your own. Or buy from their company wholesale and make your own designs and shit for them.
Fuck that. My idea was just coming up with it. Somebody else is going to produce it. Yeah. That's the American way. I'm going to sit and make billions of dollars and not even go to work. And the rest of you guys are going to do all my bidding. And that's the American way. And I'm not going to hardly pay you anything. I'm lying, you guys. I really am not that much of an asshole. I don't have anything. But really, that is how it works around here.
Well, that's why I say, I would want to do like an aquaponics center where you're producing something that's good for the entire community. Mm-hmm. And you can hire people from the community to help you build it. Create jobs as you're going. I want to do that kind of thing. I want to put this place back together because this world's falling apart quick.
I don't know, man. I feel like I'm becoming resigned. Maybe I'm having just a bad couple of days. I don't know, but I'm like, fuck this shit. It's all going to be the same no matter what we do.
It just
I'll be different next
you're
time.
Getting that bad news, and then you're living in 95-degree heat outside.
It's hot out, Jack. It's fucking hot out.
That'll turn you angry real fast.
But I ate really well today, and I drink a lot of water.
I hardly ate anything today, which is weird.
Oh, see, I had some fancy lettuce I've never heard of before from the store. It was some kind of fancy name.
You say?
Yeah, interesting. But yeah, it was some kind of really curly lettuce that was really pretty, and I put some cilantro in it, and some parsley, and some cucumber, and some green beans, fresh green beans, and I mixed it up. It was tasty as shit, dude. It was good.
That's cool. I like
and some pineapples.
Salad.
I bought a good pineapple. And I just learned the other day how to tell if a pineapple's ripe. Like, I've been smelling it for years. That's not how you tell.
I don't even know how to tell.
See the leaves that come out of the top of the crown? If you reach in there and grab, like, the middle, like, one or two of them, if they just come right out, then it's ripe.
Oh.
If they stick to it, if it's hard to pull out, they're not ripe yet. But if they just slip right out, then they're ready.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm like, how did you? I've been walking around
I pick them up and I
pineapples.
squeeze them a little bit, and I'm like, well, it's soft enough to cut. Okay,
Yeah.
I guess I'll eat it.
I just like smell fruits and vegetables, and people think I'm such a weirdo.
I don't know if there's a way to do all that stuff, but
I can't remember 100 different ways.
I know, no
like
shit.
You flick some, you squeeze, don't squeeze tomatoes.
You gotta flick the melon.
That one commercial of the tomato, like that was like all dying from being bruised.
Bruise them.
Exactly, but that commercial with the tomato that was bruised was kind of traumatizing me. I didn't like it. But I can't keep track of all the different ways.
But if we had like large produce centers that could sell a big variety of stuff, and then have actual salespeople who know about the products and can tell you, yes, this is right. No, this is not.
Here's the kicker. What if we didn't import fucking fruit from halfway across the world that was green when it was picked? So it will never actually ripen because that shit's like the pears that stay rock hard that aren't supposed to, and because there's some kinds that are supposed to stay hard, and some kinds aren't. But yeah, I learned the other day how to tell the difference between green peppers that are male and female, the actual pepper fruit. I was like,
really?
Oh my goddamn!
I have no idea.
The bottoms of I believe it's the female ones have 4 bumps when you flip them over. The males have 3.
Okay. And if she's wrong, it's vice versa.
And if it's wrong, it's vice versa. And with apples, if the bottom is smooth, rounded, those are baking apples, cooking apples. The ones that are bumpy on the bottom are the ones that are just for eating raw. You can eat either one; they won't hurt you.
Yeah.
The ones that are rounded are the ones that just have a better texture for cooking. Yeah.
Outstanding. See, that's another thing. I want to make sure I've got enough land that I can set up some like permaculture and grow my own fruit tree grow.
Right.
I would, if I were to start building a big like produce producing area, man, I would do it so well.
I'd be eating that food so much.
I need a couple $100,000 to get this thing off the ground.
It's true. I don't have any money, so I can't contribute anything.
Definitely don't have that.
I've got some seeds that I got on 50% off at the store. You can get seeds for really cheap right now for like whatever kind of vegetables you want.
You gotta save them till next year.
Exactly.
They're no good now.
But like they'll still be good next year. So why spend twice as much on seeds? I'm telling you, they'll still be good.
If we all set up where if everybody in America just decided to set up a thing in their garage or one room of their home to where they could grow their own fruits and vegetables, the seed would be good all the time.
That's true.
And you would always have fresh food that you need, locally grown, non-GMO.
I was going to say, didn't some of those GMO companies make it where you can't keep your seed for corn in some areas? Like it's like,
and I don't know the whole story, but I do remember reading something about that.
Yeah, it's very fuzzy in my mind, but it's something where you're not allowed. It's become criminal to keep your own seed because you may accidentally have one of their seeds mixed in with it from when they conveniently appear to drive by and just toss them out the truck window.
Throwing it out the window, guys.
I'm not saying that they really do that, but it just seems really convenient that
every time some farmer is doing well, they've all of a sudden got a GMO crop there that's owned by Monsanto. And now there's a lawsuit, sir, because you didn't pay for us to let you grow that here.
Right, and there'll be like 2 plants in their whole field right by the road.
Yeah.
Who do you think you're fooling, people? And if Bill and I end up dead, it was mostly Bill. And just take that as a fact. He knows more than I do. I know nothing.
I don't know jack shit. I'm just reading a teleprompter, dude.
Right? But yeah, if something happens to us, it most likely was Monsanto, so.
Yeah, well, really, if
anything does happen, it probably really wasn't Monsanto.
I was so happy seeing people, like, marching against it. And I've seen some great memes. And somebody had posted something on my Facebook the other day. It said something about, to the effect of, in the United States, you have to use water as an ingredient in the ingredients list if a product contains water. But we don't have to know which of our plants were genetically modified and what the fuck they were genetically modified for. I saw that meme. Yeah. That was really good. That was a good one. I love memes. I improvised that a little bit. I don't think it said fuck. No, it probably did. In my mind, it always does. Right. It says either fuck or goddammit. Goddammit is one word. I like it when authors do that, when they put goddammit as all one word. Because it's supposed to be. It's so funny to me. It's called English, folks. I love it. That's all I speak. The ever-evolving language. Yeah. It really is. This is important about evolving language. I got all excited. All right. There is a new symbol that there's a guy that invented that's trying to replace the word the. And it's a symbol with like a T and a little H that comes off of it. It's fucking cool. And they're like, no, we can't use that because it doesn't look right with the rest of the words. They told the guy to change the font to see if maybe they'll like it after that. I'm like,
You can't just fuck with it until it gets to the size you want it to be.
Damn, okay. What? Fuck, I had some question about that.
But it's the number one most used word in English.
What do you call that word, or the symbol that you use to replace and?
Ampersand.
Ampersand. All right. Yeah. I wasn't sure if that
was in the article I read.
Okay. But yeah, why not?
But I was like, oh my god, that'll help out so much in text because it'll be one character instead of three. And people will putting duh. I can't fucking stand it when they put D-A, duh. Unless you're from the south side of Chicago, don't fucking do it. The only time you can do that is when you're from the south side of Chicago. The rest of the time, or Boston perhaps. Yeah. Perhaps. But most likely not. Don't do that. You're not... Oh god, it makes me so mad. There are specific dialects for certain regions of the country for a reason.
Why?
Because that's how we roll. Southsiders. The Bears.
This country isn't big enough to have all the dialects.
Yes, it is. Because if you think about it, every state is the size of a country in another part of the world.
Well, that's kind of true.
Yeah. Except Delaware. Poor Delaware is so small. It's like Kuwait. It's so little.
Like, that's a city size, dude.
Right? Yeah, Rhode Island and Delaware are so little.
It just cracks me up. I mean, when you fly over from the West Coast into Chicago, you see these, like, desolate areas with no real good-sized cities, and then, like, Chicago just rises on the horizon, and you're like, fuck, there is, like, everywhere.
And there's no grass anywhere in the whole city of Chicago.
There are little patches of it.
It's on people's rooftop gardens.
Yeah, no kidding. Well,
there's, like, no grass.
That is such a great idea. I mean, all these people that live in these huge buildings there, why not build a huge, like, even 2-story greenhouse up there?
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Grow food for the entire building.
And if they did hydroponic-wise, and they could do beautiful hydroponic with, like, the ponds and stuff rather than just have tanks.
You can make it look nice.
Oh, God, it would be so beautiful. And it would be little oases on every little building. It'd be what is it, oasi?
Oasi, yeah.
Like cacti?
Well, I mean, the bigger the building, as far as flat roof area, I mean, you could add in a park.
You could.
That would be safe and away from the criminal element that roams the street. But I really don't. Yeah. God, I know Gary has a lot of issues, but I hate having that mentality of you can't go outside.
Oh, yeah, people
so dangerous.
Because I worked on the other side of Gary, I had to go through Gary to get to work. I worked at that job for like 5 years, and I don't live with my parents, right? I have my own place, but my mom would call me every day, or I had to call her to make sure I made it through Gary okay. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, Mom, I drive past there. I drive through there every day. It's fine. I've been going there like twice a day, 5 days a week for years, and nothing's ever happened. Okay. Yeah, I've seen drug deals happen in front of that car, but you know what? I see them in where I live too.
Yeah, no kidding. It happens in the rich white neighborhood.
Oh God, the weirdest.
And if you don't cause a problem, they don't give a fuck that you saw them.
The weirdest drug deal I've ever seen though took place like maybe 6 blocks from here. It was at a park. And I didn't realize what was happening at first, but this kid walked over by the garbage cans, like, was messing around, and kind of pulled one up and stuck something underneath there, and I didn't think anything of it. Then another kid came by, like, 20 minutes later, took that item that was underneath the garbage can and slid some money under it. I'm like, you fucking kids. That was smart. Yeah, except for the fact that it happened at a park, which makes it a felony.
Yeah,
Don't do that, dumbass. But putting it, like, hiding it and then having, I didn't deal shit. That's what the kid's like. I had some drugs. I just threw them away. Yeah. I didn't want to use them anymore.
I decided to go Red Ribbon Week, man.
Right?
I'm not going to take these drugs, put them in the trash.
Right.
Then I came back. Well, I think about my drugs, and there was money there.
So I took it. I took
that money. I thought it was a sign from God.
But don't do that shit at the park, you guys. That makes it a felony. Parks and schools. You can't do that.
God. People get themselves in so much trouble over drugs. Mm-hmm. I really wish that we could treat it for what it is, and it is a social disease. It is not something that's ever going to be corrected by jail time. We need to just legalize this stuff and get people into treatments. The things that are really fucking up people's heads.
In ancient China, did them slitting people's nostrils for smoking cigarettes, tobacco, well, it wasn't really cigarettes then because they didn't have cigarettes, but it's tobacco. Did that curb the smoking of tobacco? Not really.
I don't know.
A lot of people just had slits in their nostrils.
All of it.
They hid more. And they're out back behind the willow tree smoking cigarettes.
They smoke so many cigarettes over there now.
Yeah, dude. And there's like 4-year-olds smoking.
When you tell somebody, no, you can't, you're making sure that they want to do it anyway.
Exactly. So let's really think about what's actually important and prioritize.
Yeah, no kidding. Quit looking at the news media and being afraid of everything around you. There are some bad... what I was going to tell you is when I was a kid, I was about 13. We moved from one side of Gary to the town on the other side of Gary. But I had a lot of friends in the town we came from, so I would ride my bike through Gary. It was only like 8 or 10 miles.
Right.
And I would ride my bike all the time and just go stay the weekend at a friend's house.
Yeah, go out, play outside, whatever.
Never had a problem with anybody.
And I drove through there all the time, and I never had a problem.
As long as you're not disrespectful to people, you're fine.
I started laughing because I remember the only time I ever got heckled was I was driving through and like 1,000 birds had taken dumps all over my car. Oh. And there was like, I mean, I have pictures of it on my old cell phone because it was like crazy the amount of bird like dung that was all over my car. It was fucking crazy. But these guys pulled up laughing at me. They're like, ha ha ha! You should take your car and get it washed. That's the worst shit I ever got going through Gary. Was the guys making fun of me for my car literally being covered from bumper to bumper in bird shit.
A single area anywhere in the country where somebody wouldn't have pulled up and like, shit car.
And it was funny. It's like, I was so embarrassed to drive home. But I had to keep driving until I could find an establishment, a town that was concerned enough to have a damn car wash.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't any around there because you couldn't have them because they weren't safe.
Right.
Somebody would get raped or mugged or something at the car wash.
Sure. Well, I've got these flowering trees in my yard, and every spring when we first start getting the rains, those little petals that come out.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm driving down the road, I look like I'm at a ticker tape parade, just petals flying off everywhere.
I've got the trees that have the yellow powdery pollen. Oh, you should come park at my house at the beginning of the summertime, dude. You park at my house for 2 days.
It's fine dust.
It is. It's this fine yellow dust that just covers everything outside. It's all over your outside of your house, your cars. If you have like chairs or anything outside tables, it's covered. And there's nothing you can do. You have to just wait for it to finish pollinating because if you clean it off, it'll happen again the next day. And then after about 2 weeks, it stops, and then you finally go out and wash everything off. It's fucking crazy.
That's disgusting.
I don't have allergies, though, so I'm lucky.
It almost seems to me like some kind of mushroom, like...
It may be a mushroom spore of some kind.
Spitting spores up in the air and like,
go
forth, my children!
I just always assumed it was trees, but...
It could be. But I've seen a lot of weird funguses in the past few years in this area.
Like, because of the movies that are happening. They're getting ready to attack us.
The bees are dying, dude.
And the bugs.
Yeah.
And the frogs.
That was another thing I was surprised at. All day long kayaking, never saw a single mosquito. We were close to some wooded areas,
I almost got killed by them the other day looking for raspberries. I ended up having to run out of the... Yeah, I had to run out of the woods because I had gotten bitten like 30 times in a 5-minute period. And all I got was this tiny little Ziploc bag, like only this much. Like, what is that? A quarter's worth? A quarter's worth.
3 fingers, man. I used to watch the show Weeds. I know.
Exactly. What was her name? Halia,
yeah.
She was so funny.
Cool character.
Dude, she was and her nephew, that kid was hilarious too. Conrad. Yeah, I used to love that show.
They were great in the first few seasons.
Yeah, then it got really strange once they moved to that other town in California.
Well, once the characters crossed one another, and watch the show if you like.
I like the show.
It was a really good show. I liked how at the very last season, the last few episodes, you got to see all of the old popular characters again. The ones that survived.
Conrad came back?
Yeah.
Yeah. That really chunky guy. What was his name? Oh, it doesn't matter, dude.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
The show.
Watch the show.
If you're into such things.
But yeah, so I only had like a tiny handful of raspberries, and I've got like bleeding scabs on my ankles from where I scratch when I sleep. I scratch mosquito bites.
We got so much rain this spring that those plants are just ungodly large. I'm wearing long pants every time I go out hiking from now on. See,
I will advocate for myself about this. I think that the long pants hiking thing to keep ticks off of you is bullshit. I think it attracts more ticks. Because what I do is I shave my legs really well before we go, and I wear little shorts. Because I don't think they can climb up my skin. They have to have little hairs to grab onto.
That's a good possibility. They do
shave
like going
legs,
into like... I'm not shaving my fucking legs. Do you know what it is just like when it grows back?
Yes, I do.
You made a lifestyle choice, not me.
No, I didn't. They told me I had to shave at school.
I know. You're a girl. You have to shave.
Yeah. And I've actually had jobs where it's in the handbook required.
Oh,
that you have to shave your legs and your armpits. It's like, okay, you already said I can't wear sleeveless shirts. How the fuck are you going to know if I shave my armpits?
I would just let that shit grow. I'm breaking the rules and you don't even know.
You can't even get the deodorant up close enough to your skin if you don't shave, dude. It's disgusting. I don't know how you gentlemen don't shave your armpits. I think that's
I'm
fucking
lucky in the fact that like the one part of my body that has thin hair is my armpits.
Oh, dude.
It's not terrible. I don't look like a gorilla when I take my shirt off. I've got a lot of skin showing. So my armpit hair is not that bad.
I had this art teacher in high school, and I'll never forget him. He had so much like body hair that it was tufts were coming out through his sweaters and stuff. Yeah, just like Rob, but worse. Like, it was bad.
Rob Williams is a
hairy motherfucker, right? The Birdcage is like the best movie ever that he's in.
Yeah, I've liked a lot of his movies.
That was my favorite Rob Williams.
Well, I'm really a big fan of Bobcat Goldthwait's writings.
Oh, you know what? Me too.
Have you ever seen Father of the Year?
No, I missed that one. I know it's an
I think
old
it's on Netflix. You should be able to watch it on there. But watch that movie. We'll talk about it next time. It is fucked up, but it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Well, we are going to be doing a podcast where we watch a film. Maybe that'll be that one.
Yeah, we're going to start commentating films. That'll be fun.
Yeah, if you don't like it, tell us, because nobody tells us shit.
Yeah.
So if you don't start telling us what you like and what you don't like, then what am I supposed to do? I'm just going to do what I want.
We're just going to keep doing the same shit over and over.
Right, until you tell me something. Right. Except we are going to do like some workout videos, maybe.
Yep.
Naked cooking show, maybe.
I like that idea. I'm not making bacon.
Dude, I've done that, but at least I had on an apron.
I knew that shit pops. I don't want naked body anywhere.
Well, see, I figured it out. People cook it on too high of a flame.
Oh, that's true. They say that I haven't tried this yet because I almost never buy real bacon, but they say the best possible. I usually get turkey bacon.
It's so gross. Fucking turkey bacon is such bullshit.
If you get the right stuff, it's not bad, but it never crisps up like bacon. It's not real bacon. It's a bacon substitute.
There's my stepdad years ago when I still lived at home. My stepdad was trying to make bacon. And my mom had bought a package or whatever from the store, and he's like cooking. He's like, "What the fuck is wrong with this bacon?" And then he's like, "There's no grease on it or anything." And he went to the cabinet, he got some olive oil out and poured it in there. He's like, "At least
we gotta oil this up,
it'll be the texture it's supposed to be." And he's like, "What the fuck is this? Rotten bacon?" It was awesome. It was turkey bacon.
But from what I understand, if you take really good, especially the thick cut bacon, and you cook it at a low temperature for a long period of time, I guess it gets awesome with the flavor, the consistency. Yeah. I'm gonna have to try it out the next time I buy bacon.
I have a set of pans that you can't cook you can't use a flame higher than medium. It will not let you, otherwise it'll burn the pan to the fucking stove.
Wow.
So it taught me really well how to use a low fucking flame, because I spent a lot of money on that racist panware.
We should do a cooking if we can build ourselves a greenhouse and start having fresh produce on a regular basis. I would love to put a cooking show on the channel.
Totally.
That would be great.
Yeah, there's a lot of plans we have, so if you guys want to see anything in particular, please let us know. And we need some finances, too, and that's cool. I'll be a beggar. If you want to donate, we're going to set up a tab on Amazon, probably. I haven't done it yet, but I will. I've been listening to Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla. That's what they do. And I bet I can get $5 a month, too, because I'm funny. And Bill's funny-ish, but I'm really funny. No, but for real, if you guys want to float us some money, let us know. We'll tell you how.
Well, really, Adam, our buddy from down south, he's back in town. He's going to start building our website.
Okay.
And, we're going to have to put some advertising on there and try to build up an audience.
That is one globe-trotting motherfucker. He travels.
You, man, he's been all over. He just came back from London.
Yeah.
He spent part of the last year in Japan, I think. Maybe we'll get him on the show and he'll talk about it.
Right, and then there's me that's like, I went to Minnesota. And that was like big news for me. I'm like, I left the state.
And I rode in a boat.
Yeah, exactly. That's big news for us. We don't do anything. But yeah, our buddy Adam, he's all over. Yeah. I've known that kid forever.
I know. We've been like the closest friends for a good 10 years now.
Yeah, I've probably known him 15, but I like to always one-up Bill. Yeah. But yeah, I've known him for a long time. He used to work at a coffee shop.
I knew a guy who was way worse at that than you are.
But I used to know Adam when he worked at a coffee shop years ago.
Yeah. He always worked at a couple, but...
first one.
He's a great philosopher. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I knew him when he was a college student way back in the day. Yeah.
I knew him when he fucked up, quit college, and took a long hiatus before going back.
Yeah. Oh, he needed it, though. And a lot of people
Everybody needs to get out and find themselves. Do something. Make an adventure of your life.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm doing.
Be a decent person. Don't be a cunt.
Don't be a cunt or a dick. We're sick of it.
No shit. We got to make this place better.
Because it sucks. Then I wake up all bitchy because I'm like, why are these people such assholes and flip me off when they're driving their cars? And you know what? The speed limit is how fast you're supposed to drive. That's the maximum, goddammit. And I love to teach people that. So creep up on the ass bumper of my car, and guess what? I'll put it on cruise control and I'll go exactly 30. So don't fucking do that. If you want to drive fast, go around me. Because I'll make sure you drive the speed limit.
No kidding.
That shit pisses me off. That's like, going all like lad. Yeah, but it just makes me so mad.
I always drive right around the speed limit.
Give or take.
I never speed too much. But you know what? It's because there's no need to.
There's not. Where you gotta go?
Heading accordingly, and you will be okay.
Right, and that's why we're late a lot. But maybe we should leave earlier.
That's why we don't do a live show, because we're late all the fucking time.
We would always start like 15, 20 minutes late, maybe like an hour sometimes because of me. I'm always late. Okay, that's not true. I'm not always late. Just what has to do with this show. Because we keep it relaxed. We keep it real.
We try. Word.
Right, to your mother.
She's my homie.
Yeah. We're trying to figure out the camera angles.
It's still weird to turn. That's not the way I turned my head.
No, it's backwards.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're sitting ass to ass. We're so close that, like, our armpits are, like, permeating on each other. It's awesome.
we're going to get better accommodations eventually.
Yeah, when we get some money. So if you want to pony up some, come on.
Maybe we'll have
I'll
a
be
contest
nice.
to get a lot of people going to the website and recommending people to the website, and then we'll give away prizes.
Yeah.
That'll be a good plan.
Yeah.
But for now, we're about to run out of time. That thing's going to cut us off.
Yeah, it's going to turn off in a few seconds.
Yeah, all right, folks. Have a good time. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day. See ya. Bill's gone.